The U.S. Supreme Court ruled Thursday that Alabama's congressional map with one majority black district and 6 majority white districts violates the Voting Rights Act.
That ruling endorsed a lower court decision that found Alabama needs to redraw a new map with 2 black majority or near majority districts. News 19 Chief Investigative Reporter Brian Lawson spoke to one of the plaintiffs in this case today.
The 2020 U.S. Census meant each state had to redraw its congressional districts based on population. Kadita Stone of Alabama Forward said that's not what Alabama did.
So Alabama has 7 congressional districts, and each one of those districts represent 14% of the population. And so we found with the 2020 census data that was returned to us that Alabama had a black population of 27.79%, which would round up to 28%. Of black in Alabamians. And so with that, if you do 14 plus 14, that equals 28. That's automatically 2 congressional districts. However, the legislature decided not to give us 2 congressional districts and decided to pack all black Alabamians into one, which is a direct violation of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act.
So Stone, Alabama Forward, and other groups sued. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act bars voting acts or procedures that discriminate on the basis of race. But
given the history of where the courts are currently and given the history of what they've done in the past, I was optimistic, but I was also realistic about what could possibly happen.
Thursday, the Supreme Court agreed. Alabama's congressional map violates the Voting Rights Act.
To know that the answer that I wanted to happen was just a feeling that I can't quite describe. I just feel overjoyed.
And the issues in the case aren't unique to Alabama.
So on a congressional level, there are 12 other states who were found who were being sued by certain people in their states because they violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act in the same exact way. And those states were actually told until an answer comes out for our case, then their case couldn't be solved.
Alabama has been directed to draw a new map. Brian Lawson, News 19.
Now, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall said yesterday the state still hopes to argue in a federal court trial that under the current map, quote, voters in Alabama, regardless of their race, have the same opportunity as any other members of the electorate to participate in the state's political processes and elect representatives of their choice, end quote.